Let me tell you something. Pain will find you. Failure will find you. Doubt will creep in when you least expect it. But strength is not something you're born with. It's something you build. It's forged in the fire of everything that tried to break you and didn't. So the real question isn't, are you strong? The question is, are you willing to become stronger? Strength is not a feeling. It's a decision, a conscious choice you make every single day, especially when everything inside you screams to stop. Mentally strong people understand this truth. If you wait to feel confident, you'll never take action. Feelings are fleeting. They change with the weather, with the tone of someone's voice, with how much sleep you got last night. But a decision, that's deliberate. It's built from intention, not emotion. It's the quiet voice inside that says, I will do this no matter how I feel right now. Most people believe strength is something you're born with, like a personality trait or genetic advantage. But it's not. It's something you cultivate through choices, through small acts of defiance against fear, doubt, and pain. Every time you choose to get up when life knocks you down, every time you take one more step when you feel like you can't, you're building strength. It's not dramatic or loud. It's quiet. It's in the moments no one sees. Think about the people you admire, those who seem unshakable in the face of chaos. They're not fearless. They've just trained themselves to act despite fear. They understand that emotions are like waves. They rise, they crash, and then they fade. But if you let those waves decide your direction, you'll never leave the shore. Mentally strong people don't deny fear, sadness, or insecurity. They acknowledge them and then make a decision that aligns with their values, not their feelings. This habit, choosing strength over emotion, becomes a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. It's not about being cold or emotionless. It's about emotional discipline. You can feel afraid and still move forward. You can feel unmotivated and still do the work. That's what separates strong people from the rest. They don't let temporary emotions make permanent decisions. In difficult times, when everything feels uncertain, this mindset becomes your anchor. Imagine you're standing in the middle of a storm. The winds are strong, the rain is relentless. You can't control the weather, but you can decide how you'll stand in it. Will you let it break you, or will you plant your feet, lift your chin, and endure it? That's what mental strength looks like. It's the decision to remain grounded, even when life isn't. There's also a powerful shift that happens when you stop saying, I don't feel like it, and start saying, I'll do it anyway. You reclaim power from your emotions. You stop being a victim of your own mind and become its master. That's where real confidence begins, not from success, but from keeping promises to yourself when it's hardest to do so. Every strong person started somewhere, tired, afraid, unprepared. The difference is they decided to show up anyway. And that one decision, repeated over and over, transformed them into who they are today. So if you want to be mentally strong, stop waiting to feel ready. Decide to act, even when you don't feel strong, because strength is born in that exact moment. The decision comes first. The feeling follows later. There is a profound sense of freedom that comes when you finally understand what is within your control and what is not. Mentally strong people master this art. They learn to channel their focus toward what they can influence and release the rest. It sounds simple, but it's one of the hardest lessons in life. Most of our suffering doesn't come from the situation itself. It comes from trying to control outcomes, people or events that are simply beyond our reach. When you waste your energy fighting what you cannot change, you drain yourself of the strength you need to change what you can. The truth is, control is an illusion we often cling to because it gives us comfort. We believe that if we can just manage every detail, predict every outcome, or convince others to see things our way, life will finally feel safe. But that's not how life works. There will always be uncertainty. unpredictability, and imperfection. Mentally strong people accept this not as defeat, but as power. Because once you stop wasting energy on what you can't control, you reclaim that energy for what truly matters: your mindset, your actions, and your response. This principle becomes most visible in moments of challenge or conflict. You cannot control how people treat you, but you can control how you respond. You cannot control the weather, the economy, or someone's opinion of you, but you can control the effort you give, the boundaries you set, and the attitude you bring. This is what separates mentally strong individuals from those who constantly feel powerless. They know that their reaction determines their reality. Instead of saying, "This is unfair," they ask, "What can I do right now to move forward?" When you start living this way, you begin to notice peace in places where you once felt chaos. You learn to let go of the urge to fix everything and everyone. You stop trying to predict every outcome and start preparing yourself to handle whatever comes. It's not about indifference, it's about wisdom. You understand that by controlling your inner world, you gain strength to handle the outer world. This mindset turns frustration into focus and anxiety into action. One of the greatest powers of this habit is emotional stability. When you accept that some things are beyond your influence, you no longer get tossed around by disappointment or anger. You become grounded. People may misunderstand you, circumstances may change, plans may fall apart, but you don't fall apart with them. You adapt, you adjust, and you keep moving. That's strength. It's easy to get lost in the noise of what you can't change, the mistakes of the past, the opinions of others, the uncontrollable turns of fate. But mentally strong people understand that power lies in perspective. Every situation offers a choice: react or respond, resist or release. When you choose to focus on what you can control, your effort, your honesty, your resilience, you step into a place of real empowerment. Because the moment you stop trying to control everything is the moment you begin to control yourself. And that's where true strength lies. Discipline is the foundation on which mental strength is built. It is the quiet force that keeps you moving when motivation fades, the invisible thread that ties your goals to your actions. Mentally strong people understand that comfort is seductive. It whispers to you, telling you to rest a little longer, to take it easy, to wait for the right moment. But they know that comfort, though pleasant, is also the enemy of growth. Nothing extraordinary ever grows in the soil of comfort. Growth demands discomfort, challenge, and persistence. It demands discipline. Discipline is not about punishment or restriction. It's about freedom. The freedom to live life on your own terms, to achieve what others only dream about. It means doing what needs to be done, even when you don't feel like it. Anyone can work hard when they feel inspired, but mentally strong people show up even when the fire burns low. They've learned that consistency beats intensity every time. Success isn't built on bursts of effort. It's built on daily, deliberate action. Think of discipline as a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it becomes. Every time you choose to stick to your plan instead of giving into distractions, you're training that muscle. Every time you get up early, work through fatigue, or say no to excuses, you're reinforcing the message that you are in control of your choices. This repeated act of self-control rewires your mind to focus on progress over pleasure, purpose over impulse. Comfort tells you to stay safe. It convinces you that the hard work isn't worth it or that you can try again tomorrow. But the truth is, every time you choose comfort over discipline, you lose a little bit of trust in yourself. You start to doubt your own potential because deep down, you know you didn't keep your word. Mentally strong people avoid that trap by honoring their commitments to themselves. They treat their goals as non-negotiable. If they say they're going to do something, they follow through, not because it's easy, but because it builds integrity and self-respect. Discipline also breeds resilience. When you practice doing difficult things consistently, you become comfortable being uncomfortable. You stop seeing challenges as obstacles and start seeing them as opportunities to prove your strength. The early mornings, the long nights, the sacrifices, they all become part of the process that shapes you into someone capable of handling anything. That's the paradox of discipline. The more structure you create for yourself, the stronger and freer you become. Ultimately, discipline is the difference between wishing and achieving. Everyone wants success, but only those who are willing to embrace discomfort and delay gratification actually reach it. Mentally strong people don't depend on fleeting feelings to drive them. They depend on habits that anchor them. They understand that the path to mastery is paved with ordinary days filled with extraordinary effort. So when comfort calls, they don't listen. They choose the harder path, not because they have to, but because they know that on the other side of discomfort lies everything they've ever wanted. Fear is one of the most powerful emotions a person can feel. It can paralyze, control, and silence even the strongest among us. But mentally strong people view fear differently, not as an enemy, but as a teacher. They understand that fear is not a stop sign, it's a signal. It reveals where growth is needed, where courage must step forward. Fear points toward the things that matter most. The dreams worth chasing, the changes worth making, and the risks worth taking. The difference is most people run from it, while the strong choose to face it. Every time you feel fear, your body is telling you something important, that you're stepping into the unknown. And that's exactly where transformation happens. The comfort zone feels safe, but nothing new ever grows there. Mentally strong people don't ignore fear, and they don't try to eliminate it. Instead, they listen to it, study it, and then act in spite of it. They know that courage is not the absence of fear. It's the decision to move forward, even when fear is whispering in your ear. Fear becomes destructive only when you give it authority. When you let it dictate your choices, you start shrinking your life to fit your comfort. You say no to opportunities, avoid challenges, and stay stuck in familiar patterns. Over time, your world gets smaller, not because life limits you, but because fear does. Mentally strong people refuse to live small. They challenge their fears by doing the very things that scare them over and over until those fears lose their grip. It's through action that fear loses its power. This mindset doesn't come naturally. It's something built through experience, reflection, and a deep understanding that fear often disguises itself as logic. It will sound like a voice of reason, knows not the right time. You're not ready yet? What if you fail? But mentally strong people recognize that voice for what it truly is. Self-preservation disguised as wisdom. They don't argue with fear. They acknowledge it and then make a decision based on purpose, not panic. When you treat fear as information, you gain control over it. It stops being something to avoid and becomes something to use. Fear tells you what you care about, what you're willing to fight for. If you fear failing at something, it means you value it deeply. If you fear speaking up, it means your voice holds power. The moment you start interpreting fear as guidance instead of a threat, you unlock incredible potential within yourself. Courage is built in small moments. The decision to speak when you're nervous, to start when you feel unready, to keep going when you're uncertain. Each act chips away at fear's control and strengthens your confidence. Over time, what once terrified you becomes routine, and you realize you were capable all along. That's the power of facing fear head-on. Mentally strong people understand that fear is inevitable, but paralysis is optional. They choose movement even when the path is unclear. Because the truth is, fear will always exist at the edge of growth. The goal isn't to get rid of it, it's to walk through it. On the other side of that fear is freedom, confidence, and the life you were meant to live.